Just see this video. You have seen this one, gib and quarter joint. Just I want to rewind this one. So this is the one strap having the square cross section. This is also another strap having the square cross section, and slot is made. So this slot should match with this slot here. Now the gib is inserted. Now this is the one gib. Gib is nothing but is also one kind of quarter, but it is having the at two ends head. At both ends, it is having the heads. Okay. In this, whatever the slot made it, in the gib is inserted and move to forward. In this direction, it is going to move. Now the quarter is going to insert it. The title name is here gib and quarter joint. So this is the gib and this is a quarter. So like this design is going to made. Okay, Baba. So that we are going to discuss today. Okay. So here in this design of gib and quarter joint for square rod, we are going to calculate in the dimensions. So while calculating the dimensions of this one, we are going to considering the failure modes of the this entire system. Okay. So before starting the terminology, whatever is there. So this is the P applied load in terms of newtons, and this is a quarter. This one is a shape is a C channel shape is appearing, that is a gib, and this is the known as a strap. Okay. And coming to dimensions, capital B represents the total width of the gib and quarter. From here to here, how much it is width is there, the total width is denoted by capital B. And specifically width of the quarter is small b, and specifically width of the gib is small b1. Okay. And this is the length L1 representing here. This is the length of the square rod. Length of the this square rod from here to this end. And this LT represents the strap end from here to here. And the strap end is having the square cross section of width is x, and height is x, and width is b1. So this b1 is equal to x because this is a square rod. Okay. And t1 is known as thickness of the strap end. Here it is appearing the strap end. Okay. This thickness is t1, and its width is b1. It means width of the strap end and the square rod width is also same. And L2 here representing the L2. L2 is nothing but length of the strap end from here to here, length of the strap end. And T2 represent T2 means thickness of the gib head. This is the gib head here to here, gib head. How much thickness? T2. So before designing, you people should perfect with this terminology, Babu. Okay. And the T is the thickness of the quarter, and T1 is already we discussed here. Okay. Now by considering the failure modes of the this joint, we are getting the dimensions. Okay. Now first failure mode is failure of the rod in tension. in tension. This is the first failure mode. Here, this rod, here it is showing this one. Okay, this rod is going to fail in tension. Okay, so because of in tension, the respective stress is generated, that is a tensile stress. So that respective equation is tensile load by tensile failure area. Now that this equation may be written as Pt equal summation T into At. Now what is At here? The failure area we have to take. So what is the failure area of this one? See here, the side view. The end is going to fail if it is in tension. The failure area will appears here with the red color hash lines. Width is height is x and width is also b1. So b1 is equal to x. I'm treating because it is a square rod. It means area is x into x, total x square. Now equation will become as pt equals summation t into x square. With this equation, x is determined in mm. So because this is the derivation, I am writing here x is determined with this equation. If it is numerical problem, so you have to write the x value here in terms of mm. That is the difference. Okay, Babu. Now width of the strap in this only. Width of the strap B1 we treated as a x value. It means once we got the x value, we can get the B1 value in mm. Okay. Thickness of the quarter T value, we have empirical relation, that is B1 by 4. This you have to remember. Thickness of the quarter, this T value B1 by 4. So once if you get that B value here, substitute here, you will get the T value. Okay. Thickness of the gib. Thickness of the gib is this one. This thickness, the gib portion thickness is, thickness of the gib is equal to thickness of the quarter, that equal to small t. It means both having the this quarter and the gib both is having the same thickness. Okay, and the height is T2. This is the one, gib head T2, and gib length. This is the L2. Gib head length. This one, that is L4. That is T2 equal L4 equal T. It means if you get the T value, you will get the gib head thickness. You will get the T2 value. That is this one, and length of the gib head. These three parameter you will get. Okay. Now the second failure mode is failure of the gib and quarter. Gib and quarter in shearing. In shearing. So how it is going to appear, I will show here. Just see. Just see here. Failure of the gib and quarter. If it is fails, how it is appear, I'm showing. Now see here, because the load is applying here, P, and load is applying on this rod P. Now this is actually tensile load, but this tensile load is distributed on these two elements as a tangential manner. Okay, so because of that reason, what happens, whatever the portion, this portion I'm showing with this hashed lines, this portion is going to remains in the first strap, and this portion is going to remains in the second strap, and along with this rod the third portion is going to carry it outside. Are you getting, Babu, whatever I'm drawing? This third portion is going to come outside of the, along with this rod. It means this quarter and gib is going to break down into three pieces. The first piece is in this strap, the second piece is going to remains in this strap, and the third piece is going to remains in the this rod. So what happened at this time, the failure area is going to generated in a two failure areas, where at the intersection of the this one, so the failure area is going to generated in this region where the two metals, two elements are going to generate jointed here, and the another failure area is going to generated in this region where the two materials, means this one and this one, is going to join. So in these two regions, two failure area we can find. So that I'm drawing here the failure areas I'm drawing. This is for the quarter, and now I'm drawing for the gib. Now this is the failure area for the quarter, and another failure area at the bottom. Here at the bottom one failure area, here one failure area. Okay, this is for the quarter. Now this is for gib. Now this is a failure area and another failure area at the bottom in a square shape. For this bottom, this is the another failure area. Now this is a failure area. Okay, so this is the thickness T. This is the width of the quarter B. This is the width of the gib B1, and this is the thickness of the gib T. Now what I said, total width is capital B. So if you add the B1, then we will get the B. So instead of writing B1 separately, I am writing the B because both are failuring in a shear. So that reason entire width I am taking into consideration. Okay. So because this is failure in shearing, the respective shear is shear stress I am taking, that is shear load by shear failure area. Now this equation may be written as PS equal sigma S into failure area under shear. Now what is the shear area here? If we take particular this one, the failure area is B into T. Now the failure area we are observing on this particular element two sides, so that reason I am writing multiplying with the 2. Now for this, the failure area may be written as B1 into T. Okay. Now because this failure area is generating two sides, so that reason I am writing the 2 here. So here, if you add these two, that is 2 into B into T plus 2 into B1 into T, that is 2T if we take outside, B plus B1, that is 2T capital B, where B plus B1 is the capital B. Just now I just now I shown in this figure. If you add the B1, B2, that is the capital B. So that reason I'm writing the capital B here. Okay. So now PS may be PS equals sigma S into area is 2 into B into T. Okay. So with this, what we will get, we will going to determine B value. B is determined in mm. So if it is numerical, then you have to write the B value here. T value already you calculated in the first step. Here you calculated the T value. So substitute the T value there, you will get the finally B value. This is the second mode of failure. Is it clear, Babu? Now third one. What is the third one? Third one is failure of strap end in tension at weakest portion. Where we can find the weakest portion, just see here in this animation video. So we can find the weakest portion. See here, we can find the weakest portion for this tab. One side I am drawing. Weakest portion we can find at the slotted area. Here one slot is provided. Here also one slot is provided. So if it is fails in tension because of application of load, in this, here it is subjecting to load P, and from this end for the rod it is applying the load. So if it is fell in tension means at this slotted portion, it is going to weakest portion. Because of stress concentration, this is going to fail here. This arrow marks I am drawing for the stress concentration factor here. Okay. So same whatever we practice in the stress concentration effect in the first unit. Suppose in a rectangle plate, if hole is present, we already discussed, if hole is present at the edges of the plate, the stress concentration is minimum. At the this edges of the hole, stress concentration is maximum. This we discussed in the first unit, isn't it? Same concept is going to adapted here. So if it is fails in this region, how it is appears, I am drawing, see here. Okay, like this it is going to fail. So the area is here. This is the failure area. Okay, so here two failure areas are generating that I am drawing here. That I am drawing here separately. So such type of diagrams you need to construct in examination, Babu. For that reason I am drawing here. This is a failure area. So this failure area I want to calculate. So what is the failure area here? This area, total width of the strap is this one. Just see in this figure. Width of the strap is total B1. Total from here to here. From here to here, B1. Okay. Now this gap is gap thickness, that is T. That is T. Now this is the strap thickness T1. Just see in this figure. Strap thickness is T1. Where is the T1? Here it is showing. Total width of the strap is B1. And this is a T1. And the middle portion is X, means that is this one, the end square of the rod. Now here the third one, failure is going to happens in tension. So the respective stress is tensile stress equal load by area. So this one may be written as PT equal sigma T into A suffix T. So what is the failure area here? The failure area I am writing here, total B1, the failure area, total B1 into T minus total B1 into T minus T into T1. It means, see here, the failure area for this square, I am writing. So how should I get for this particular, not entire thing? It means from the entire, if you subtract this value, this gap from entire, if I subtract this gap particular this gap I'm showing here. If I subtract this gap, you will get that one. So how much this gap? This gap is T into T1. And now this is the for this one. Total enter from here to here. Okay. Now this failure is happening for the two strap ends because it is having the two straps. Here, this is having the two straps. It here, another is here. Isn't it? For that reason, I'm multiplying with 2. Now B1, what I said, B1 is a width of the strap, nothing but equal to X value. So I'm writing this one 2 into X T minus T1 into T. So that one is going to written here as PT equal sigma T into 2 into X into T minus T1 into T. So this is the one equation. With this equation, what we are going to determine here, T1 is going to determine here.
Sir?
Yeah.
So that should be B1 into T1 now, sir.
Wait. Which one, Amma?
2 into B1 into T1 minus T into T1, no, sir.
Okay. T1. Okay. So with this equation, T1 we are going to determine. If it is numerical, so write the T1 value here. This is the third failure. Okay. Now the fourth failure. Failure of the rod in shear. Failure of the rod in shear. So because the shear phenomena involving here, so shear stress equal shear load by shear failure area. So the shear load equal shear stress into shear area. What is shear area here? Just see uh, with the animation video. See here, this is the rod. What happens if it is failure in shear? Now the quarter and gib is going to insert it in this hole. Okay. Now because of that insertion, now another load is applying in this manner. What happens if the quarter and gib is stronger than this rod? What happens? This rod is going to fail in this manner. Here, this slot, it is going to shear in this region. Means the quarter is going to come outside through this region. It means total along this direction, the quarter and gib is come outside. and failure is happens. How it is appears if it is fails, I'm drawing here. So one side I'm drawing. The failure area is, this is the failure area. Same area you can find the failure area I drawn for this side. Okay. Same area we can find this side also. So what is the length here to here and what is this one? If we know, we can easily find out the area. So this one is the length. How much it is given here? The value of length L L1. Okay. Now what is the this width? That is the x1. From here to here, that is the L1, and here to here it is the x value. Now what is the area here? The failure area is x into L1. Now because we are facing the two surfaces failure areas, one is for this one is for this one, two failure areas. So that reason multiplying with 2. Okay. So same I am drawing here. Same thing I am drawing here. Now this is the failure area. Now length is L1, its width is x. So two failure area we are facing. So that reason multiplying with 2 into x into L1. So write the equation here. PS equal shear stress into 2 into x into x1 L1. This is the equation. Now with this equation, L1 is going to determine in mm. If it is numerical one, then you have to write the L1 value here. Is it clear, Babu? Now fifth failure. Now fifth failure is failure of the strap end strap end in crushing. Otherwise, failure of gib or gib and cotter in crushing. So both are same meaning, Babu. See here in the previous diagram shown here. So with this figure, now if I draw the gib here, so this gib is going to inserted here in this slot, whatever the slot is provided here. So if both are made having the same strength, this is going to hit in the surface of the slot here. Otherwise, this is going to hit the surface of the gib here. So both are subjected to crushing. So what is the crush area here? The crush area I'm drawing here. Here. This is a crushing area. Okay. So what is that area? The area is T into T1. T into T1. So because of the it is crushing, the respective stress is sigma C equal PC by failure area in crushing, that is PC equal sigma C into PC, sorry, sigma C into AC. So what is the area here? T into T1. PC equal sigma C into T into T1. With this, sigma C is going to determine, this is known as induced stress. This induced stress should always less than the permissible stress. This permissible value will be given in the question. This induced stress we are going to calculate with this equation. We need to compare both values. If our value is less than the permissible value, then our design is safe. Otherwise, this permissible value only, if it is means this induced stress is exceeding this permissible value, then our design is not safe. That comment you have to write. After writing the comment, for safe design purpose, this permissible stress value only we are selecting and substitute the value here and get the T1 value, like that. That is the procedure. Now the sixth failure. The sixth failure is failure of the strap end in shear. Failure of the strap end in shear. So how it is look like, so I will show with the animation video. Failure of strap end in shear. So failure of strap end in shear means the gib and the quarter come outside through this channel. I'm drawing here. Come outside through this channel. So I'm drawing one imaginary line through imaginary lines. Like this, it is going to fail through this channel. The gib band is going to come outside in this manner. So it is going to fail like this. So the failure area is, I'm drawing with the hashed lines. This is the failure area. Now what is the failure area? If we know the dimensions, we can easily find out what dimensions we require. We require the this length, and we require the this length, width and thickness. So what is this one here to here? If we see the diagram, so from here to here, that is, so this is the strap length, where from here to here, that is L2. Okay. Now what is the thickness of this one from here to here? That is given here as T1, L2, T1. So this is the one L2, and this is the T1. Now what is the failure? The shear, because it is happening in shear, respective shear stress is equal to PS by failure area. So what is the PS here? Shear stress into AS. The AS I am writing here, L2 into T1. Now two failures we are facing here. So that reason multiply with 2. So the equation will come as PS equal sigma S into L2 into T1 into 2. Okay, that is I am writing here. I am drawing that one figure here. Let's see. The failure area I am drawing. Same area appears here. The length of the rectangle is L2. Thickness of the rectangle is T1. That is, this is the T1. From here to here failure. That is L2. Shear stress equal shear load by shear area. Okay. With this equation, we are going to calculate L2 value in mm. So because this is a derivation, I'm writing like this. If it is numerical, so here you have to write the L2 value. Now what is L3 in this diagram? What is L3? Particularly from here to here, this region. This L3 value, we have one empirical relation, that is 2 by 3 into x. I'm writing again 2 by 3 into x, that is L3 value. Okay, so with this, in the fourth unit, first topic, design of quarter joint is over. Okay, so problem also same procedure is involved. Whatever we derived in the equations, same procedure is there. Just instead of writing the t is determined, you have to write the value there. So shall we do one problem, Babu? So design a, which one this is one? Okay. Design a gib and quarter joint as shown in figure. So just wait and this is the figure given in the question. As shown in figure, maximum load is 35 kilonewtons. So the load is given here 35 into 10 to the power of 3. And assuming that gib and quarter and rod of same material, for that the properties is given. Tensile stress is 20 megapascal, shear stress 15 megapascal, crushing stress 50 megapascal. Three stresses given and asking to design. So first failure, if you go through the first point one by one, what is the first failure? Failure of the rod in tension. So this one we considered. With this, what we are getting, finally x square we are getting. So PT value is given in the question. How much PT value is given? 35 kilonewtons. 35 into 10 to the power of 3. Sigma T value is given in the question as a 20 megapascal. Okay. Now tell me the x value. Make it fast. Everything is written on the screen. Substitute the values in calculator and get the value of x in mm. Make it fast, Babu. We don't have time. The time is 12:20. We have only 10 minutes. Tell me the x value. Get it fast.
41.83, sir.
41.83. Very good. Mm. Okay. Now x value we got. What is B1 value? B1 value also same as 41.83 because it is a square rod. Okay. Now what is T value? T value is 41.83 by 4. Get it fast. What is T value? 41.83 by 4.
10.45.
10.45 mm. Now what is L4 value? L4 value, T2 value are all same. Okay. Now the second point. What is the second point? In second point, we are getting the B value. What happened this one? We are getting the B value. It means load is given as 35 into 10 to the power of 3. Sigma value, sigma S value is given in the question 15 megapascal. T value just now we calculated. How much we got? T value 10.45. So T value just now we got in the previous case 10.45. Now get the value of B. Make it fast. Get the value B, capital B.
Sir, it is 111.64, sir.
Capital B value
111.64.
111.64. Okay. Mm. Capital B. So after getting the capital B, this empirical relation we have, make it note. B is the width of the quarter. B1 is the width of the give. So substitute the B value here, you will get the small b. Substitute the capital B value here, you will get the B1. Okay. Now the third one. What is here? We are going to determine the T1 value. Okay. So PT is given 35 kilonewtons into 10 to the power of 3. Sigma T is 20. Sigma T how much given in the question? 20. Okay. And X value we got as how much? 41.83.
Yes, sir.
And T value how much we got? 10.83 somewhat we got.
10.45, sir.
10.45. Yeah. 10.45. And tell me the T1 value. What is T1? Get it fast, Babu. Last 6 minutes we have. What is T1? So just in this manner, substitute the all values. We'll get the